Hi, welcome back to the Backyard Woodshop. I'm Tom Ryder. Today we've got a fun project that's quite useful for people that don't want to pick up a lot of heavy materials. This is a material lift. So you'll just crank the handle and save your back. If you want to see how I made it, stick around. Let's talk about the lift real quick. It's just three components. You're going to build out a dolly system of your design. You can go with my design, it works really well. I got these from a pic. The kind of the design is not mine overall. I saw it on woodweb.com and Lumberjocks. I don't remember the people's names that posted the pictures. It's been a little bit since I saw those. I just kind of took inspiration from them and stole some of their shapes and ideas. I don't take credit for that, but then I fine-tuned what I was building for myself. So, all you're going to need is your dolly system, your beam or post, and then you're going to have a carriage system. And so that's the three pieces, and the great thing about mine is you can take it apart. So the dolly is separate from the beam and from the carriage, so this doesn't have to stay in your shop all the time in the way. The beam you could put up in your lumber rack, and then you could just hang, you could drill holes or whatever and hang any of this stuff up out of your way, and then when you need it, you set it up. It sets up, I bet you this will set up in a couple minutes and you're good to go. The cable, this just unhooks off of this saddle piece, and that saddle piece comes with the garage roller that goes up into the top of the beam, and that's on a ball bearing. And all this, I think if you had to go buy all this, I still don't think you would spend $100 on the whole system. So you can buy a commercial version, but if you look it up, they're quite expensive. They're over $500 and up, but they're made out of metal, and they probably will lift a bit more. But I wanted something that was portable, that I could take to job sites or leave in the shop. The other plus that this does, let's say you're got an iPad or your laptop, or you can just have this as a writing desk. Sand this real smooth if you want. You could also cover this in padding. There's lots of options. So this video that I've recorded is, it's broken up into pieces. I had to redo some stuff, so if you guys bear with it, I think you'll be able to get the gist of how to build this, and you'll have something that you can use in your shop. So to build this lift, it's pretty straightforward. You're just going to need some hardware. These lifts, if you buy them commercially, they're $500 or up. So first thing you're going to need is a winch. This one I bought through Amazon. It was only like $20. The one plus you want to get with any winch, if you can, is forward and reverse. That way you've got controlled cranking going up and down. But you choose what you want. The other thing you're going to need 8 of these appliance rollers. I got these at Home Depot as well. They were like $11 for a set of 4. So you're not into a whole lot of money to build this. The lumber, if you've already got a lot of scraps, you're going to save in that regard. And the last thing you're going to need hardware-wise, as far as picking out components, is a roller at the top. And this is just a garage universal pulley. It comes with some extra hardware you won't need. You just need this, and then you need some I went ahead and bought some 3/8 threaded rod. It was cheaper than buying like a bunch of bolts, and so I bought the 10-foot of threaded rod, a couple bags of washers and nuts to go on it, and I should be covered for any bolts that I need, and then I'll have extra left over. But yeah, you need a 3/8 bolt to be the axle for this pulley. So that's what you need for hardware, and then we'll get into the other components as we go. So I'm working on making the trolley system that's going to go up and down the pole. If you want to make the same one I am, you're going to need your boards to be 4 1/16 wide and then you're going to have to do some layout. So come in 7/8 on each side, strike a line, and then from the top and the bottom you're going to want to do 1 1/4 inches, and that'll give you your grid for laying out your 4 posts. And then you want to drill a 19/64 hole, and what that'll let you do is screw this into the wood so that you don't have to worry about any rattling or, you know, loose bolts. It's nice and quiet. And so you just thread this in, and then it'll cut its own threads, no big deal. So and what that spacing does is it just lets you clear the other roller when it's in, so that you can screw this in. And then once you get it close, and there it is. And then you can, I'm just going to go ahead and put the nuts on here just to help lock it in place, but you really don't need them because this is not going to spin because you're going to have boards on each side, and so there's no way for these to turn. And then what you're going to have is one side of your trolley system right here, and then you're going to do that again for the other board, and then you can put one on the top, one on the bottom, and when you do that you will have your rollers that'll feed up and down. I just thought I'd give you a quick view of the carriage itself. This is the side view. This is our table on top. I've got an extra support under here, and that's just to keep these two pieces towards the front secure in case I change this table. That just makes sure that my screw holes stay aligned. You can change the table out to different functions and sizes. Whatever you need. You can even turn it, you know, the opposite way if you wanted to make it do stuff that you know, for your requirements. And then here is this is our rollers, and that you want them really tight to your beam. You want to take clamps and squeeze these two, what I call the skateboards or whatever, together. And then you've got your back piece that holds this is just a scrap of wood, plywood that I put the winch on, and where you mount it at is up to you. I just put mine up a little higher to clear the dolly on the bottom. And then you've got some bumpers here, basically. You know, it's just some spare blocking to make sure that, and what that's mainly for is so that nothing touches this center part, you know, like our cabinet, because we've got a screw here, and you could cover this if you felt like anything was going to bump it for whatever reason. And this center board is just screwed in. It's just a piece of 1/2-inch scrap I had, and that holds this saddle. And this saddle comes with your 3-inch garage door roller, your pulley, and it's just part of that system, and I just repurposed it so that my hook can go through it. And that's pretty much the components for the carriage. Here's the dolly up close. So I've got double locking swivel casters on the back, and then I've just got some 3-inch simple casters on the front right here, and I use washers to level this out. And then since these are post, they have a post in them, I just put in a screw to lock them in so that they can never just fall out randomly, and I've got one on each side of the front. The bottom, that just gets screwed in, so there's no worries about that. And then the center piece here, I've just got it notched right here. You can kind of see I just got it notched out for the 2x4s to set on, and then I just came in and screwed it. And then as far as the mortise goes, it's just sitting, you know, it's just 2x4s, and then you got your 1-inch there, and I just took my table saw and you know, chewed all this out to make this notch in here, and then when I put it all together it becomes a mortise. So that's pretty much the big secret to this. And the other thing I made sure of was to round over all the edges, and you could even, if you were worried about it, you know, router over all this or sand over the corners, but I just did the roundovers for one to help with the locking and unlocking of the back casters, and then in case I was pushing this along and I hit a wall or a cabinet, it's less likely that these rounded edges would damage anything. I want to give you an up-close view of the post. This is the top, and you can make yours as long as you want, but you can see I've got my roller in here, and I just put it down a little bit so that and so far I've not had the cable want to rise out, but you could put a piece of wood on top of here and have it turn and close over if you were worried about it, like if you were using rope. If rope wanted to seem to, you know, flex out of the roller, but the cable so far hasn't done that. And then that's an up-close view of the nuts, how they work. Let me push this over. There we go. You can see, and I've just got that recessed in a hole, and there's a washer in there on each side. And then one of the other things I had to do, you can see I routed out a channel for the cable so that we're not rubbing on the cable the entire time. If you don't do this, if you're using rope, over time you're going to fray it. And I just did that on both sides. And you can see my pencil will fit in there. Oh, this is our tenon here. So as we know, well, this is 4 and this part here is 3.5. So I wanted to make sure that I had a 2.5 by 3 tenon. And I just made the mortise first, and then I just said, you know what, I'm going to make a tenon to fit it. And then after I was done cutting out the tenon, which I just used a circ saw, made a bunch of kerfs. It was easier because this thing's so long and big. I just sanded it all till it fit, but the problem was one side it was a little bit funny, and I ended up having to glue a little bit of shim material on each side of this in different places until I got that perfect fit to where I had no play at all. So that's a little tip. If you end up getting your tenon a little smaller than you should have, just glue some more wood back on and try again. Let's just say that I was moving my planer. I'll just give you a real life demonstration of me setting the planer on there. I normally would have raised it up to the top of the table and then slid it over, but for the essence of the clip, you can see it's not going anywhere. It won't fall over. It's a good design, I promise. And then we're just going to slide it up to the table. Need to come up a little more. And the plus to having a reverse, hang on to it, flip it the other way. Now when it's in reverse, if you let go, it's going to want to keep going. So you have to remember to lock it back when you're ready to move forward. The reverse just helps keep it controlled. Like if you just wanted to go just a little bit the opposite way, you can kind of count the clicks. And you can see I can slide that right on that table, pull it back off. I haven't even raised it up any higher than the tabletop to see where the tipping point is. Let's find out live together. Let's see. So far, so good. Now, of course, when you get up so high, it's going to want to be tippy. I mean, that's 70 pounds right there. You know, I'm moving it around one-handed, no problem. So I'd say that's pretty good. Honestly, unless you put something like this on a top shelf, why would you need to go any higher? Well, that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate you watching. If you guys really want some PDF plans for this, if you want them simple, let me know. I can give just some general measurements in a PDF plan for free. But if you guys want a step-by-step build with materials list and details on how to put it together and build it, I can do that. But if enough people were to ask for that, 50 or more probably, then I would take the time to put that together, and then I'd probably sell that. But for less than $100, you can build this, and you can use the video pretty much to figure this out. I figured it all out off a picture. So check the links down below in the description box, and I'll have them to all the parts that I bought and used. Rollers, the wheels, the casters, the winch. We've got our garage roller up top. All that. You know, I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And until next time, I see you in the backyard.